All right, real quick. I don't expect to be too long. Just want to talk about these fights going down tomorrow night. And one thing I can say is that I think the fights should deliver. If they don't, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if not one of these fights is entertaining. But they should all be entertaining. Because they have fighters in each fight that are, knock down, drag out type of fighters. And I want to talk first about the newcomer that a lot of people are talking about. And that is this Chavez. This female right here. Jesla Chavez. I don't know how to pronounce her first name. Whatever it is. I'm going to assume that most of you seen her fight on the Contender Series. It got her a lot of attention. Her following kind of skyrocketed after that fight. If you haven't watched that fight, you need to go and watch it. Now, I'll say this about Chavez, and there's more hype around her than her opponent. She has pretty good offense. She has sort of like dazzling offense, let's say for females. But it's also kind of predictable and repetitive. So I think there's some vulnerabilities with her. I'm saying this because I don't want people to get their hopes too high. Because she seems to have a lot of people who are fans already. For example, look at this. You click the flipping, it's already got a number of comments, 14 comments. But look at everybody's tag. They're all excited about the same fighter. You see? She has gotten a lot of attention from that fight on the Contender Series. She took a little selfie with Dana White. But this lady has poor defense. Her defense is so poor that it's upsetting. Listen, man, I don't mean to sound harsh or anything like that. But I'm just saying, expect me to predict against her in some fights. It's okay to appreciate her fights, a lot of blood, she bleeds easy. But she stays composed. No matter how much she gets hit, she keeps her composure and her tenacity. And I think that's really what stands out and grabbed a lot of people's attention. I think that's what people appreciate most about her. When she's bloody in a fight, she's still tenacious. It's kind of an Arturo Gatti type of vibe going on. But like Arturo Gatti, she's got horrible defense. She has no defense. She just keeps her head straight up in the air, and if you throw a punch, it's gonna land. She's not gonna step back. She's not gonna lean back or to the side, and she's not even gonna block them with her hands or arms. It's kind of crazy to watch. Fighters with no head movement, At the very least, you need to keep your hands up. She stands there with her hands down and don't move her head. So she totally relies on her offense for defense. Okay, let me get on here. Take a look at the little face off here. She totally relies on her offense for defense. Now she's undefeated. She's undefeated. And I hope she don't lose her undefeated streak in her UFC debut. But this is what kind of disappoints me. I like to see undefeated fighters. You know, they carry the most buzz. But to see an undefeated fighter with that poor defense, it makes you just want to jump off a tall building. Okay? Makes you want to just stick a ratchet in your mouth and just off yourself. It's like, girl, if you don't block something, if you don't put your hands up, you don't try to swat those shots away or something, you better. Because my goodness, she fights like she just wants to get hit in the face. Like that's what her face is there for. Like, go ahead and hit it. So I think it's hard to make a prediction. And I'm not gonna be too confident in my predictions. Just a fair warning. But I'm gonna take the newcomer, the Rocky Balboa, of the Contender Series, the Arturo Gatti. I'm going to go ahead and take her, but this is about 50-50. This fight's 50-50. I'd like to say that she, got promise, but man, with defense that poor, listen, man. That's why Shevchenko is a legend. A big part of Shevchenko's aura is her defense. I've said it years ago. That's what's one of the main things that sets her apart from other girls. Now, Priscilla against Chelsea Chandler. Both big, hard-hitting fighters. Might come down to who hits harder. Of course, Priscilla has no defense either. They're fighting at bantamweight. Priscilla she's fought at bantamweight already. And she got a knockout at bantamweight, but her opponent was not a bantamweight. Her opponent was Ariane Lipski. And remember, Priscilla also lost against Jasmine at bantamweight. Okay? And I suspect that Chelsea is going to try to take Priscilla down. Chelsea knows that that's her best path to victory. To get Priscilla down. Do not stand and try to bang with Priscilla. Okay? I don't think I've ever seen her really hurt. Seen her buzzed. I can't even say it was buzzed. It's almost like she just lost her flipping balance. But this girl's chin is granite. It's granite. Look at it. You know, girls with big fat jaws, they sometimes tend to have iron chins. I mean, doesn't her chin look strong? But this is Chelsea Chandler. A big girl. I think she's even fought at 145. So I really think it's anybody's fight. Both of them kind of sloppy. That's another thing. The newcomer, Chavez, she's not that sloppy, you know. she's a gritty fighter. I'll put it like that. She's very gritty, like Priscilla. But Priscilla just, stick her face out there, her chin out there, and just swing. She's totally using her offense for defense. Right? But Priscilla's fighting bigger fighters now. It's going to be harder to beat up these bantamweights. Okay? Priscilla's dominance in the fights where she was dominant took place primarily at flyweight, not bantamweight. Not bantamweight. Or am I? You know what? I'm mistaken. She knocked out Josiane Nunes at bantamweight. Wasn't that was at bantamweight? Okay, so it's not a one-off. It's not a one-time thing for Priscilla at bantamweight. That's what it's looking like, right? Yeah. And you know what? I think the UFC forced her to move to bantamweight because she kept missing weight. If I'm not mistaken, right? Oh, no, she didn't. She just missed once. It was 129 against Jillian Robertson. And, okay, so, I don't know. Okay, see, this is a bantamweight fight at Lipski. In the UFC, that was her bantamweight debut. But then she went back to flyweight. But they didn't indicate that she went back to flyweight here. But Miranda did not fight at bantamweight. She did not fight it. I don't think she would. I mean, well, let me take that back. She might. Especially if she just had a baby. I wouldn't be surprised she come back at bantamweight. You know, I think that would be a bad idea. She get hurt. She get beat up at bantamweight because her punches don't really hurt. They're not really heavy at 125. But anyway, bantamweight bout debut against Lipski, knocked her out. Went back to flyweight, lost to Maverick. Then went back to bantamweight, got beat up by Jasmine. Got just stomped. Just walked over. She got destroyed by Jasmine. Absolutely destroyed her. So Chelsea she's licking her chops at the opportunity to take Priscilla down. And if she doesn't, well, good luck. Good luck to Chelsea. So yeah, it looks like she's been at bantamweight for consecutive bouts. Jocelyn Edwards and this lady. So I'm going to take Chelsea Chandler. I'm going to take Chandler in this fight. Because of, Priscilla's not taking nobody down. And when she gets taken down, she's helpless. And you don't need spectacular takedown ability to get Priscilla down. You just don't. On her feet, Priscilla's tough, dangerous. But on the ground, it's like there's nothing there. You know Chelsea's going to want to get her big fat butt, lay on top of Priscilla, and beat her up. And I'm going to go ahead and take that as my prediction. Put that out there as my prediction. Chelsea Chandler, most likely by some type of ground and pound or, some type of mauling. All right? And the third fight, I have to take Ketlen Souza. I have to take Souza because Carnelossi is just too unpolished for me. She's too unpolished for me, man. There's just no finesse. She's so raw. So raw. I just can't take her. Now she's powerful. So she could win. She could hurt Ketlen Souza. But I'm going to go with the more technically sound fighter. okay, in Ketlin Souza. I'm mainly just happy that I know we're going to get some pretty good fights. Because Carnelossi, she only knows one way to fight. Come at you, be a brute. She's going to force Ketlin to fight. Most likely drag her into a dog fight, most likely. And I think a dog fight is likely with the other fights. It's like 3 fights where it's likely a dog fight. Now I won't say Chavez, she's not really, but she's very offensive, high volume, but she will move laterally. She's not a come forward type of walk you down, beat you up type of fighter. But she is high action, high volume. So I expect some things to happen there as well. And I definitely expect female fireworks between Priscilla and Chelsea Chandler. Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed and just hope for some good fights. And I will see y'all after the fights.